I started playing at church when I was around 14 years old, and that's really where I learned how to play with chords, use chord charts, and improvise. And you might be thinking, why would you need to improvise? Well, because there's always that moment where, there's like the pastor's praying or the preacher is doing the thing and you need to play the background music. It always falls to the piano player. So I had to develop some very quick skills in order to be able to do this, because there's a few things. You want to be quiet and subtle, but you need to be beautiful. You need to kind of match the mood. So this lesson is all about how to create background music at church. The simplest way to create background music is to use the chords from the song you were most recently playing. So these little moments usually happen after you've done a set of music, and then there's some speaking. So if you just came off of, "Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul," you've got these chords. You've got this chord chart in front of you because you've already played it. So just borrow that. Use those chords. You don't even have to play them in order. Just look at your chart and play those chords through. Now you want to remember to be quiet. You have to be very careful with volume here. You are not the star of the show when you are playing background music. You are just providing some mood. So instead of block chords, one of the things you can do is break up your shapes. So I'm using the chords. So here's my C, my G, my D, and my E minor from the song we were just on in our pretend situation. And I'm finding those shapes, but I'm only playing some of the notes. I'm picking two at a time. So here's the outer fifth of that C, and here's our G in an inversion, and I'm playing the outer shell. And then for the D, I'm choosing the third and the root, and same with the E minor. So you can just play around with that. You can even use the full chord, and you've just kind of got this beautiful music happening already. Now you can bring that way up high if you want a really delicate mood. And if you're kind of feeling like that's sort of building, you can bring it back down. That's where an arpeggio comes in really handy. Did you see how I was on the D chord and I just used an arpeggio to climb my way back down? So that's one way that you can create some background music. Borrow the chords from the song you were just on and play them in a delicate, quiet, soft sort of way. Now the next thing you can do is you can simply use the pop chords. Now, in popular music, and this will apply into church settings as well, there's always the 1, the 5, the 6, and the 4 chords that sound amazing together. And what I mean is if we're in the key of C, C would be our 1 chord. We'd count up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's our 5 chord. Then this would be our 6, because it's based on the 6th note of the C scale. And this would be our 4, because it's based on the 4th note of the C scale. And you can do this in any key signature. But if you can pick a key signature or a scale and identify the 1 chord, the 5 chord, the 6 chord, and the 4 chord, you have 4 chords that are guaranteed to sound really, really good together no matter what order you play them in. So you can just write down on your page the names of those chords in any key. So in the key of C, it would be C, G, A minor, F, and then you can play those in any order using the same techniques I just showed you. 1, 6, 5, 4, or we could go 1, 5, 6, 4, or 6, 5, 1, 4, right? Any order is going to sound amazing. And then you just put that cycle on repeat and go over and over again, and you've just done it. And now the final idea I have for you is all about sus chords. Sus chords are where it's at for background music because you can just spend hours and hours playing sus chords and disappear into a land of beautiful sounds. So let's pretend we're in a different key. Let's play with the key of D. So in the key of D, this is why knowing your scales is important. We have D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and D. So let's play a D chord. This is a D major chord. We can swap the 3rd tone of this chord for the 4th tone. We have a sus4. This is really common in church music. It creates this sense of like, we're not finished, there's something going to happen, and then we can resolve back to the regular chord. So you can see how just moving back and forth between these two shapes, it's beautiful, it's relaxing. You can just play nice simple root note in the left hand. You could break it up. There's our sus4. And you can also do this with a sus2. So let's swap that 3 for the 2 this time. Here's our 3, and here's our 2. 1, 2, 5. It's a different sound, but it's also beautiful. Now the beautiful thing about this is you can layer it with different notes of this D scale in the left hand. So remember how we talked about that 1, 5, 6, 4? Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is going to be A, the 6 is going to be B, and the 4 is going to be G. So let's play with those in our left hand. So here's our 1. I'm going to work with the sus4. And then let's find that 1, 2, 3, 4. Sounds really pretty. And then we can go back to the 1 on a normal triad. Let's try the 6 now, and I'm going to do a sus2. And let's try the 5 under that sus2. And we can land back on the 1. So you could use that and just spend a very, very long time. You could handle a very long background music time, prayer time, whatever it is. You could spend a long time playing around with just a sus2 shape. So with these 3 ideas, you've got yourself covered for all the background music you could possibly need. So I hope that you find this useful. And you can even use these ideas for just a simple improvisation session at home when you need to unwind or relax at the end of the day. So have fun. Thanks for watching. Comment below, let me know what you think, and we'll see you next time.